Boy. All right. Third time's a charm, I guess. I don't know what happened. Anyway, hello everyone. I was talking to myself for probably about a good 4 or 5 minutes. Anyway, that's recording. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. What I wanted to say is that I actually downloaded from Twitch an unedited, unmuted version of Friday's stream from beginning to end. So that is going to be the first link that you see in the description. The description is going to be flooded with information because it's going to be flooded with links and information and stuff like that because this is my last video. Not gonna lie to y'all. After stream on Friday, I just sat and looked at my Streamlabs and I looked at the chat and I kind of started to tear up because I understood that it was the end of one thing, but still being the beginning of another. And I just had a moment. And I want to say really quick, I don't have a lot to say before I get to the video. For those who are reaching out to me via Twitter, Xbox, Discord, whatever, I ask that you be patient with me and give me a few days. I've been doing this, learning and putting energy and time and all of that stuff for 5.5 years. So it 4 months, it would have been 6 years. Just give me a few days. I'm just asking you for a few days. It's nothing personal. In reference to, I'm not ignoring you. I just need time to take a few breaths, like a few breaths. 5.5 years. I'm only asking you for a few days, not a few months. It don't take me that long to process stuff. I just need a few days just to breathe and get back to doing things for me instead of doing things for other people. Okay, that's that. I don't know if I don't know. Maybe I mentioned it. Maybe that was in the other part. I don't know at this point. There will be another series that gets deleted. Medieval Dynasty, along with Outlast. I just wanted to let you guys know that. For personal reasons. Moving on. What else? There were some songs that I had that I wanted to get into the stream intro playlist, which you'll see in the description. It was all the songs that we listened to, but realistically, if you go to the version of, I don't care which one you watch, if I'm being honest with you. If you go to the unedited one, you can just watch and listen to everything that we listened to from beginning to end. You can get the full uncut, unedited, director's cut, Tiger's edition, Tiger's, I don't know. You can get all of that. You can get all that. The deluxe Tiger edition of the stream. I'm extra and I will forever be extra. Y'all just won't get to see it on camera like that. But if you click on that, you get the full experience. Get the full experience. You can wear 3D glasses if you want. It wouldn't help. But anyway, so yeah. So I just wanted to put this at the beginning of this to kind of clear up. Also, one other thing in reference to the playlist, I will be deleting the YouTube playlist, not the videos themselves outside of the 2 series we just talked about. I will be deleting the playlist. That will be over time. It's not going to be just one day, all of them are gone. That's going to be over time. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you understood that. That's going to be over time. Just wanted to make sure I put that out there. Is there anything else I have to tell you guys? Oh, there is going to be, I think I mentioned it a little bit. There were some songs that didn't, this is just like a bonus track playlist kind of thing. In the first Spotify playlist, at the very bottom, that was our official, unofficial intro to the stream for a very long time. It was iconic. People knew, like when you hear that song, you're gonna, like, they thought about my stream kind of thing. They thought about our community, our stream thing. So in that Spotify playlist, the very last song is our intro. There's going to be another playlist that I just decided to kind of throw in it. It's only 3 songs, but it includes our official, unofficial outro. That was also an iconic thing that we did. Now I'm so glad that I got to find I found the Twitch VOD that it did, because you get to see the emote wall. You get to see how we ended streams back in the good old days. I'll put it that way. So you get to see that. You get to have that experience. So if you never experienced it, here you go. This part of it is going too long. Y'all enjoy the video, whichever one you decide to watch. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who showed up yesterday. I appreciate everybody who I've met along this journey. Thank you so much for just allowing me even a second of your time. I appreciate y'all so very much. Y'all know the motto: if you're gonna do it, do it right. The Tiger Deluxe edition of the stream is in the description. We got merch, we got emotes, we got badges. We don't have any of that. Y'all enjoy the video. I'm not dying. My contact information is in the description. Okay, bye. I am so extra, and I will forever be extra. I'll see y'all. I'll see. Tiger out. Woo. Yep. And just like that, we are into the last stream. Ladies and gentlemen, chat, y'all been here. We listened to the playlist. Playlist will be in the description for those who are interested on YouTube. YouTube, hello. I think the theme for me for like the last 2 weeks was bittersweet. It was actually, funny enough, it was the title of a sermon I heard in church 2 Sundays ago. Or it might have been a little bit longer than that, but no, that sounds about right, actually. But here we are. I'm gonna let's do this, because I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to seem like there's some type of like I found some clips that I don't think I showed you guys. You might have seen the new ones. It's only like 4 minutes worth. It's like 6 clips, something like that. But I don't want it to seem like a doom and gloom kind of thing, because it's really not. It's really not. It's genuinely not. It might seem like that for some. I thought I was gonna get him, but when I saw the meter, I was like, nope. It's like I said, it's kind of bittersweet, honestly. Kind of bittersweet. Bittersweet. It's been an interesting journey. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna do my disclaimers after this is over. But um, but yeah, got a bunch of stuff to go through. I don't know. Funny thing is, I still, to the very end, from the beginning to the very end, I still am not going to put my my viewer count up. Um, and this one might, I don't know. This one might be better if I'm streaming by myself. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, because we got some topics to cover. And see, now I'm getting into the stuff that I want to talk about. Sheesh. You know what? Let me talk about this. So, Why are they telling me it's no longer listed? I already have the game right here. What? I don't know. Anyway. All right, weirdos. So in the description, there's going to be a few things. Let's talk about that for a second. In the description, there's going to be a few things. There is going to be a link to the playlist that we it's awesome being me. It really is. God is good. It's awesome being me. Um, that's why I said don't at all think that I'm sad about what we're talking about today. Like not even a little bit. So in the description is going to be a link to the Spotify playlist that we just listened to. For those who want the full experience, that's essentially what I'm offering. That playlist, I don't know how long it's going to be up. I'm going to leave it up for a few months. What is this? June? So yeah, maybe in sometime in September. Maybe yeah, sometime in September I think maybe I'll take it down. But so it's going to be a link to that. There's going to be a link to all of the stuff that we talk about. Like there's a few things that basically I oh, this was yesterday. So this is the last clip. As you can see who I'm rooting for. But there's some things that I'm going to read out to you guys because I don't want it to like I don't want YouTube to like, you know, YouTube is like I'm very careful when it comes to y'all know I love to give people credit. That was a 52% contested. I know you can't see it. That's that. That's that. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's it. Okay. I just wanted you guys to see that because I had some more. It is what it is. Anyway, okay. Now we can get into what we were talking about. So there's some things that I'm going to read out to you guys that's specific to, it's relevant, not specific. It's relevant to what we're talking about. And I'm going to make sure that I put the links in the description because some of them are YouTube shorts and I literally typed every word that they said out so that I can read it to you, give you the short version so you can see it for yourself and give credit to the owners of, you know, the messages. So those are going to be in the description. I promised you guys, and I am going to hold true to that promise. I am going to put the 2 playlists. There's a bunch more, but I couldn't put them into the actual playlist. But the 2 playlists that we were talking about when I got you guys suggestions and, you know, y'all gave me names and types of videos and stuff like that. Those 2 playlists that I made are going to be in the description as well. I'll talk more about the playlist in a second, but essentially you get the idea. Anything that's mentioned here that is credited from another source, I'm going to put it in the description. Yeah, like a book report. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get right into a disclaimer. This is a weird one for me in terms of this stream. It's a weird one. But let me go here. I'm going to say this just right off the bat that feelings will be hurt. Feelings will be hurt and people will be offended. Not because I'm going to be like targeting people or anything like that. Since the first day I streamed, since before the first day I streamed, I've been a certain type of person. And I will remain that person 6 years later today. 5.5, whatever. I will remain that person. But there are some things in relation to what today is that are going to offend some people. And I don't mean it. This is why I said this is an interesting stream for me, because this is a side of me that I have filtered heavily, and this is a side of me that I know how to keep under wraps. And you're going to see this side today for the first time. So it's going to be a little bit unfiltered in terms of the things that I'm talking about, not in terms of language or anything like that, but there are some things that I'm going to speak directly to. Not going to use any names. But if the shoe fits, you would know if I'm talking about you, kind of thing. That's why I said I'm not intentionally putting anyone's business out there. That's not who I am as a person. That is not what today will be. But in relation to today, I'm getting rid of everything. Everything I've been holding, I'm getting rid of it all. That's what today is for me. That's what today is for me. Okay. Next disclaimer. There's two more, then we're gonna go into. So next disclaimer is in reference to YouTube. This is specific to YouTube. If you look at my YouTube page, depending on when you see this, but if you look at my YouTube page, you'll see that every game has its own playlist. I will be deleting those playlists, not the videos themselves. Let's make that very clear. I will not be deleting the videos themselves, but I will be deleting the playlist that I made. I did that as a courtesy for you guys to make it easier for you to, binge the videos and stuff like that. The reason I'm deleting them, I'm deleting all of the playlists, all of them in relation to the games. The reason I'm doing that is because I made those playlists on my personal account. I made it on my personal account. The one that I use to watch other videos, and the one when I want to save a playlist and watch some stuff. So yeah, so I had to deal with that. This is behind the scenes stuff I'm letting you know. I had to deal with those playlists being in the way every time I was looking for something that I wanted to specifically see. So I'm deleting all of those. The second thing, in same vein, I will be the only series, speaking of which, I will only be deleting Outlast. That is the only series that I will be deleting. Reason being is that all but two videos, maybe one, is unedited. There's stuff in there because it's from Mixer. That's the reason why I didn't replay it. That's the reason why I didn't well, not replay it, but re-record it. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why I didn't edit it before I put it out again. It was from Mixer. It was genuine. It was one of the most exciting series, and as far as you guys, the audience engagement and stuff like that, chat. But I will be deleting it specifically because it is unedited. Like I said, there's stuff that I would have taken out had I edited it. It's gonna be one of those days. But that is the only series that I'm going to be deleting. Last part, then we're gonna get into some stuff. This is again in relation to YouTube. I had all of Batman, like from beginning to end. You'll see that there's 5 videos, 5 episodes. I had it from beginning to end recorded. And I also, funny enough, I had 2 episodes of Rainbow Six Vegas, the first one from 360. I had them sitting on YouTube. I had Vegas on YouTube. Batman, I had it recorded. But I will not be releasing those for obvious reasons. In terms of like this video here will be the last one that you see uploaded on my channel. But I will not be putting those out. I don't, if you're gonna do it right, right? I'm not into this anymore. I'm looking for different things. So where I had the motivation and the energy and the discipline to do it before, I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that for this whole thing. It's not there. It's not there. Um it's time for me to do something else. That's why I said it's bittersweet depending on who you ask, but for me it's just a bunch of positives. But again, just wanted to make sure I got those disclaimers out in the beginning. And speaking of the beginning, there are some people who follow me even till now, um, that don't know the whole story behind what happened right before I started streaming. I'm gonna make it a short story, um, but it started in 2015. Now, keep in mind, October 1st, 2018 was when that was my first stream on Mixer. It's my first one. But how I got there started in 2015. I met this girl through an app, a Walking Dead app, not Tinder. No, didn't do that. I was on eHarmony. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyway, I it was like when the app first came out, and it was a Walking Dead app where you can build your team. It was based off of the comics, stuff like that. But the important part was it had a central chat. So I started playing it that summer. I want to say I met her in maybe October, September, somewhere around that. Kind of went back and forth. She was kind of, this is the unfiltered version, but I'm still a respectful person. She wasn't dating anyone at the time, so she liked getting attention from multiple people. She actually said in the chat, and I'm at this point I'm not telling y'all too much because I'm just telling everything. She actually said in the chat, she was like, "No, you guys can share me," because she was an attention seeker kind of thing. Like that's the type of person she was. But good person. So anyway, after she was half with, half not with whoever she was talking to, me and her started talking exclusively. We started talking on Kick. Not the Kick that you know today. The Kick that used to be KIK. It was a texting app. We started talking on there. Um, Started FaceTiming, all that stuff. We eventually got into a relationship. We FaceTime pretty much every day. We to the point where we would FaceTime while we were sleeping, like overnight. Like she would use her laptop, I would use my laptop, and we would FaceTime overnight. That this is somebody, by the way, I didn't mention she was from California. So literally complete opposite sides of the country. So that was going on. She was a Christian. She while a couple of times while we were FaceTiming, she was sitting there with her Bible writing verses, and we would talk about it sometimes as well. She was really cool. She was really cool. Um Actually, a month from today is her birthday. That's funny. That's funny. There you go. That's funny. See, this is why. There's a price to be me. There really is. It's a price to be me. Anyway, we're gonna get into that. um, so we're in a relationship, going back and forth, hanging out virtually. she was making plans to even come over here, like to go to school over here, because we were young. Um, we were young. Like I said, this was 2015. She was like 4 or 5 years younger than me, I want to say. So she was looking for a college and stuff like that. um, so there was actually plans for me to go visit an apartment building that she was looking to get into. Um, my boss was actually looking for people. He was looking for a person and asked me to recommend somebody. I told her about it and she told me to recommend her. And I was like, it seems a little too fast. The entire, I don't want to give that away. Anyway, this was a few months in. I'll just put it that way. I'll put it that way. Um, at the point where we're talking about, like it went fast kind of thing. So about four months in to our actual relationship, um, no, about 3 months, she told me she was thinking about joining the Air Force. Yeah, that's right. So she told me she was thinking about joining the Air Force. So she was telling me that, how long she would be gone, whatever, whatever. But then she started distancing herself. She started like making excuses. She started like her personality changed. Like the closeness we had started to evaporate. And she started making excuses for it, saying that it's gonna be harder if we're close and I'm over there not being able to see you and stuff like that, like relationship stuff, like stuff that you would actually believe. Okay. So she started distancing herself. I wasn't having it because I'm like, listen, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like, just like we're together. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, not in that way, but y'all can pretty much see that I don't. Not too many things like rattle me. So it got to the point. God, it's funny how life works out. It got to the point where and in the distancing process, she would not text me back for days. Um, things like that. And it was getting closer and closer to the time that she was supposed to leave. And we actually FaceTime one last time. And it was just like, it was, I guess, me trying to figure out why she was pulling away. Um, so we just hung out half normal. And then after that, she went away she went to the Air Force. She went to the boot camp type thing. This was April, she left. Boy, like I said, life is just funny. While she was gone, while she was gone, me and God was having a little chat. We were having a little one-on-one. And he, in his infinite wisdom, led me to her Facebook. Because before this, she was she was messaging me from, we messaged through a lot of stuff. It was Skype, Uvu, Facebook, Kick. We were all over the place. Anyway, whatever was working at the time. Um, but she was messaging me because she said she was messaging me from a new account because she said that she had lost the password to her old account. God led me to her Facebook, the one that she was messaging me from. And I saw that while she was distancing herself from me, She was messaging her ex-boyfriend via Facebook, like on his wall, like posting stuff on his wall, cute stuff and stuff like that. Stuff you put it this way, stuff you shouldn't be posting if you're in a relationship with somebody else. This is while she's gone. So it was some intense kind of stuff. So I messaged him. I messaged him on Facebook because I'm me. Because I'm me. And I will forever be me. I messaged him on Facebook and I said, hey, I don't know if you know, I don't know if such and such told you, but you know, we were in a relationship. I saw some stuff and I didn't know, you know, what was going on with that. We were in a Facebook call on my like a Facebook Messenger call. And he said to me, yeah, actually the Thursday before she left, I proposed to her and she said yes. So let me bring it just real quick before I lose you. She got engaged to her ex-boyfriend while dating me. And I found out from him. That did not go too well spiritually for me. Not in terms of the conversation. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Um, I was, again, I'm me. Doesn't matter what's going on around me. I'm me. So I just finished the conversation with him politely. Um, and you know, he seemed pretty straight up. He was like, you know, I'm not the type of guy to. He didn't say guy. He said the N word, even though he was a different race. I'll leave that alone. Um, but he was like, I'm not the type of guy to, you know, do this kind of thing. I didn't know this was going on. Like, I get it. It's cool, you know. And at the end of the conversation, he said to me, I remember this just like it was yesterday. He said, can you do me a favor? He was like, don't message her anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. I think that's how I said it too. How could you not? You know what I mean? Like he wasn't spiritual as far as I could tell. So he didn't have any idea what was going on with me. He probably didn't even know about me. Anyway, fast forward a couple of weeks. I'm going through crazy, not fast forward a couple of weeks, but I mean, from that day, my world was shattered. Um, Everything I thought I knew about myself, about the world, everything was just in pieces. And that's the I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best because I remember, like, I don't fake things. I don't clickbait things. So what I'm telling you was real for me. So I'm gonna do my best not to get emotional about this. But if you see tears, I'm fine. I promise you. I just remember what it felt like because it happened. But everything was just like it. Nothing made sense. Not a thing. Um. So I went back and forth about it. I did. What do you do in that situation? Like that's a perfect comment, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. That's the craziest thing that ever happened to me. What do you do in that situation? This is somebody who, on multiple levels, including the fact that she was a Christian, you connected with. What do you do when all of a sudden this is the story you're hearing? Fast forward a couple of weeks of me not knowing what to do with life. This was in 2016, by the way, that this happened. Fast forward a couple of weeks. She comes back. See, now I was like crying my eyes out the day before she left. While texting her, funny enough, this like it's crazy. Oh my god, it's crazy how life repeats itself. It's crazy. I was crying my eyes out while texting her the day before she left. And that was the last time I had ever heard from her. Like, ever. She didn't message me at all. Ever. So that's why I said fast forward a couple of weeks. I don't know what happened. Evidently, she didn't get in to the Air Force. She moves in with the guy, her ex-boyfriend. And while all of this is going on, this is why I said there's a price to be me. While all of this is going on, she forgot that she gave me her Instagram password. So me again, this is, listen, I'm not, like, you can call it snooping if you like. When something like that happens to you, there's no rule book. There's no guidelines. I'm Christian, yes. So she forgot she gave me her password. She didn't change it. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. She's not talking to me, so these are my options. Judge me if you like. I'm watching conversations, villain arc, right? I'm watching conversations between her and her sister, who the last time I saw her smiled at me. They were basically talking crap, whatever. Because I was messaging her sister. I messaged the aunt that she stayed with, saying, hey, I don't know what happened, because her aunt was Christian. It was a Christian household. And I don't blame her aunt at all, because it was her aunt and uncle. They had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. I'm not going to say their names, even though I remember them. They had actually 2 girls. Anyway, but I messaged her because she was on Facebook as well. And I said, hey, I don't know if you know. And I don't even know if you know me. But I just wanted to basically let you know that this is the situation. I told her the situation. And if I have ever disrespected your house, I apologize. That was it. That was it. Because again, I'm me. So she was staying with her at the time. I felt that was the right way to say goodbye. They knew about me, but we never actually had a conversation. Anyway. So, anyway, the DMs between her and her sister, the girl who I was dating was, telling her sister to delete his crap. He's full of crap, all of that stuff. Keep moving on. By that October. Now, April is the 4th month of the year. By that October, 6 months later, she was pregnant by the guy. And then the following year, they got married. I don't know what to do with that. I'm I'm the honest type, have been for a very long time. I don't know what to do with that. My brain couldn't comprehend what had just happened. Eventually, I was praying. I was like, God, send her back to me, stuff like that. Like during this, I'm praying. I'm praying. This is me. I'm telling you my story. I'm telling you, I'm praying. God, I don't know what's going on. Soften her heart, open her eyes, send her back to me, stuff like that. And then, as I found out she was pregnant, I'm praying the same thing. As I find out she's moving with him, I'm praying the same thing. And then once they get married, I'm still praying the same thing. And then one day it hit me, and I was asking him to reset us so that we could do this. And one day it hit me, and I washed my hands of the entire thing, because what I had realized was I was praying for God to orchestrate a divorce and to kill a child, because I was asking for a reset. None of that was present when we were talking. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't bring that into that. She did. So I was trying to get back to the part where we could do our own thing. But after I realized what I was praying for, I washed my hands of it. And basically I went into the equivalent of a spiritual cave. What I just told you, people downstairs in my house right now, my family doesn't know. They didn't know it was happening. They didn't know while it was happening. Put it this way, while this was going on in my life, God had put everyone to sleep. Nobody could see me. Nobody could see me. Still had to go to work. I still had the same job. I was still on the phones working at Bank of America. I still had teammates. Still had to smile, all while this is going on. So I don't know how many people have experienced this. And I'm not going to feel bad about this. We're going to talk spiritual for a second. I don't know how many people have experienced this. But when you go through something like that, I am no longer today, because of that, I am no longer scared to die, because I died in that situation. Everything I thought I knew about myself, everything I thought I was going to be, everything I thought I knew about the world died at that moment. So death no longer scares me. The reason why I say that is because one of the prayers that I prayed, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, because one of the prayers that I prayed while I was going through all of that, I said, God, if you take me now, that's fine. I'm fine with it. I really don't want to be down here with people like this, with people that have the ability to do this. If all that's down here is people who have the ability, I don't want to be here. If you take me, I'm fine with it. Because nobody could see me anyway. People, what's up, Leo? People were around. People were still operating as if everything was normal and stuff like that. But that's what I was going through. Those were the thoughts going through my mind. So God himself had put me in a spiritual cave. And he when I prayed that prayer, I said, if you take me now, I'm fine. He said, no, not yet. That was 2016, 2017, and 2018. That was my life for 3 years. I listened to about 10, 12 different preachers praying saying different sermons and stuff like that, trying to get some type of relief, trying to get some type of understanding. I'm a thinker. Okay, I'm a thinker. I process stuff. I don't like think on the surface level. I think like 100 layers deep. That's me. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but that's me. So I was trying to figure out something that would make sense. Like, what did I do to attract somebody like that to me? Like what was it? What was it that it was okay for her to attach to? Because the law of attraction is something spiritually, specifically. I was having a conversation with my brother, not you, buddy. I was having a conversation with my brother about last year, I want to say. And I was talking to him about a relationship he was in. And I said to him, I said, what you need to do is you need to, this is for everyone. So you're welcome. What you need to do before you get into a relationship with somebody, you need to take the time. I don't care how long it takes. If it takes to the point where you decide not to be with them, again, you're welcome. Take the time to figure out why it is that they're attractive to you. Do you two struggle with the same things? Do you have the same bad habits? Do you two come from two dysfunctional households? Is that what you have in common? That's why I said, I don't know what it was about. I almost said that demon. I don't know what it was about that girl that saw me and was like, cool. So, like I said, that lasted until 2018. This is where I was literally being put back together piece by piece. I mean, it shattered everything. If it was 3,000 pieces, that wasn't even the amount of pieces I was shattered in. It was piece by piece. I didn't talk to hardly anyone. That's why you see, like, this is why I said, and no offense to, again, like I said, people are going to get offended. I'm fine with it. But this is why I said I appreciated Ramsey so much, because we haven't even gotten into a conversation at all in terms of me and Ramsey about what he believes spiritually. But spiritually, he can see me. He can see me. Like, he's in tune to the spiritual frequency that I operate in. Well, I'm not going to say we're at the same level. I don't know. But he's at least there. I can see it. But while all of that was going on, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't like y'all. When y'all ask me, hey, have you done this? Have you done this? That's why I say no most of the time. Because I closed the world off. Not intentionally. God did it. But he put me in a, like, it wasn't a bubble. I can't say it was a bubble. It was a cave because I could only see out one way. Everything else around me was dark. That's deep. Everything around me was dark and I could only see out one way. I could only get out one way. He put me in that cave and he didn't force me to stay there, but I was smart enough to stay there until he told me it was okay to come out. Some of this stuff that I'm saying, it may hit y'all some years later. I don't know. Maybe it'll hit you when something like this happens. Let me say this disclaimer right now. God is my witness. He knows. And I've said it to you. What happened to me, I do not prey on my worst enemies, and I don't have any enemies. I do not pray for what happened to me to happen to somebody else. But if you need, if you hard-headed and you won't listen and you need a life-changing event in order to set you straight, if you got to run into that brick wall to save your own life, I pray you hit that wall 300 miles an hour hard, because it'll save your life. So I was in that cave, and the person you see today is a direct result, byproduct, however you want to put it, is a direct result as to what happened to me in 2016, and how many of you probably don't even know this name, Juanita Bynum. She was doing a series at the time, and she was talking about isolation on purpose. That's what she was preaching about. It caught my attention because that's exactly what I was going through. And she walked me through till 2018. Even beyond that. But I'm just giving you some names and giving you some like real world stuff that happened to me. I was in that cave. Essentially, you might have heard Max, I don't know. Essentially getting rebuilt from the ground up. And all of this, some of you, this may be the first time you've heard this, and you might have been following me the entire time I've been streaming, the 5.5, since 2018, and you've never heard the story. Anyway, then I heard a voice as I started to understand that in order to be who I was going to be, that had to happen to me. Like, that was because the way that, like, how do you meet somebody on an app? You understand what I'm saying? How do you meet somebody on an app? Funny enough, I told y'all a month from today is her birthday. She was born in 97, so she had all sevens in her birthday. July 7th, 97. Yeah, it was 7 years. We were 7 years apart. What's my favorite number, y'all? This is why I said there's a price. There's a price. This is why I said I do not wish this or pray this on anyone. But as I started to understand that this happened to make me a better person, to make me who you see today, I started to say, okay, what's next? What do you need from me? This is the conversation I'm having with God. This is what my prayers sound like. Y'all oh, here for Father, please. Prayer is a conversation. And after what I just went through, oh, you better believe me and God's relationship went from like here to here. Okay, excuse me. Hey, sir, I know you have control over everything. What was that? I'm just being, listen, I'm a real person, okay? I'm just being real. I'm telling you exactly what happened. This is how my prayers sound. What was that? What was that? What in the 7 realms of hell was that? Speaking as referencing a place that wasn't a curse. If you're not referring to it as a place, you understand now. You understand why I deleted from the chat now? What was that? That was like a professional demon kind of situation. That was like a hitman, essentially, the way that happened. After I got through that part, character development, correct. Everybody goes through different things, but I'm grateful for what I went through. That's going to be one of the videos in the description, is a motivational speaker who says, be grateful for your problems, because your problems are unique to you and you need them in order to become who you were destined to be. So be grateful for you have a unique set of problems. I I was the kid. Some of y'all heard the story. I got in trouble in kindergarten, age 6, for telling a girl I loved her. Her name was Shannon. She was blonde hair and blue eyes. Why do I remember that? Because that's me. I'm the love guy. I got in trouble at 6 in kindergarten. This is why I said what I went through, that heartbreak, was because that was the most valuable thing to me. That was the most precious thing to me, a relationship. Because we're in 2024, and I don't care who has a problem with me. When I say a relationship, I mean a boy and a girl. Moving on. The most precious thing to me is a relationship, marriage. I 100% believe in it. Not only is it biblical, it does things to the house that you have no idea. There are benefits from it if you're married to the right person. Mom, dad, child. The child benefits from having both parents that took the time to work on themselves before they got married so that they could stay married. The child benefits from that. So, like I said, that had to happen to me that way. And that's why I said, as I began to understand that, it wasn't pleasant. It didn't feel good. Cried most of the time. Again, everybody around me was asleep. I had no one to talk to about this. I just had to pray about it and keep kind of like there were days that I woke up and I'm like, as soon as my eyes open, I'm like, still here. Still here. That's how I'm just being honest. That's how I felt. That's how I felt while I was going through. Like, all right, fine. I'm word for word what I just, all right, fine. That's how I woke up some of those days. After I got past that part, when I said, what's next? I heard God say, stream. Some of y'all who know the timeline, like I said, my first stream was October 1st, 2018. So by that point, it was past the Beam.Pro thing, and it was now Mixer being integrated into the Xbox and all of that stuff. I'm not trying to be funny, but that's it. That's how I got into streaming. That's what happened to me directly before I started streaming. That was my story up until now. We'll talk about how we got here at this last stream in a minute. But if anybody wondered, how did I get into stream? It was through heartbreak. And I wanted to help people. Streamer lore, basically. That was the backstory. Met a bunch of different people. Queen, Eve, Frog was the first one. That's why I hold my relationship with Frog as a very unique one, because he was the first person Look at this guy. He's right there. He was the first person that found me on Mixer. And I when I say found me, I mean within 2 weeks of that October 1st start date. And he never left. Never left. He was there before the streams. Like I could see like this I could like as I'm getting ready for stream, Mixer would show you who's in your chat and there he is. There the entire stream. That's how he became pretty much my mod up until like last August, where I kind of just reset everybody and was like, hey, everybody just chill out. We gonna chill kind of thing. That's how that happened. He was the one who came. He was the very first person. He was the very first person. And then it escalated from there. Mixer, there were some good times. But to be honest with you, that's why I said support is very much underrated. I didn't need a big crowd. One person, God sending the right person at the right time, me being in the right place at the right time, mind you, turned into all of this. Turned into all what it is. It turned into all of this. Turned into all of this. One person. So that was Mixer. I still believe, and again, like I said in the beginning, some people might get offended. I still believe, personally, Mixer was the highlight of my streaming career. That's where I had the most fun. That's where people were the most engaged. That's where people were the most interested in what was going on. Twitch was kind of a nightmare, if I'm being honest. Twitch was kind of a nightmare. I don't fully know why, but it was a nightmare. Now we're getting into some stuff that I wanted to talk about in terms of how we got here. I want to see if how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Like I said, like it says in the pin thing, feel free to comment. This is what this is for. You're not interrupting. I promise. You're not interrupting. Okay. I don't know which one. Okay. All right. We'll do it like this. Okay. How we got here today to the last stream. Interestingly enough, was because of another relationship. This one kind of came out of nowhere. Wasn't even looking for it. Genuinely wasn't even looking for it. Again, a very unique situation, a unique person. This one is not as, I don't want to say dramatic. It's not as, I don't know the right word, but it's not intense. There you go. This story is not as intense as the last one was. But from Mixer, don't know if he ever sees this, but Rich. I usually don't do this. I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about then. On Mixer, I usually didn't do this. But I think I was playing because I had other stuff going on. So it wasn't like I was trying to avoid people, but I decided one day to play 2K19. I think it was off stream with Rich. And we went to the randoms court on the right side. I don't know if there were multiple random court. I don't remember how it was set up, but it's on the right side if you're looking from the top down. And met somebody. As I understand it, the way she found out I was a streamer was, you remember Xbox, they don't have it anymore, but you remember well, maybe they do, and I just had mine off for so long. They had the little screensaver thing where they would, pop like what your friends are doing and what games and stuff is going on her little screensavery thing. It told her I was streaming. And that's how we met. Active, very active member of the community. Um, as you can see, we met on 2K, so that's saying a lot. It was, if I'm being honest with you, it was like the only thing I gotta be honest. It was like it was the equivalent of Beyonce and Jay-Z, but in video games. Like, you guys see me do different things. In 2K specifically, you see me do some crazy stuff. You might see me do something, like we played Dead by Daylight. You might see me do like some, just some like, wow. I met the female version of that. Like, she complimented every single thing that I could do. We played Fortnite. Well, let me put it this way. We won Fortnite games. We won Apex games. We won Fall Guys. We played 2K together. You understand? Like, we played Call of Duty. We played Battlefield. We played The Division. Like, I didn't like, and the thing that intrigued me most about this relationship was I didn't think that existed. I didn't think there was a female version of me. Obviously, she was very different in all the right ways. It was awesome. But I didn't think there was a female version that could compliment me in the way that she did it. I really didn't. It was a bit of a, I'll be honest, it was a bit of a rocky start. you said, it's what I just got out of. But I brought all of me to the table, flaws and all. I brought all of me, not just the good sides. I brought all of me to the table. So it was a bit of a rocky start. We were friends at first. We called each other sister and brother and all of that stuff. Start again, just how it always happens. Start talking exclusively, doing some things exclusively offline. Went back and forth a little bit again. I was interested to see what this was, to be honest. Again, all the things were enticing to me. This was very interesting to me. She was attractive, at least to me, once I finally saw her. It was out of state again, but closer this time. And it I'm going to fast forward the story only to fill in the blanks in the middle. because I'm not going to sit here and, out of respect, again, not using names. You don't know who the girl was before. You might know this one, doesn't matter, but I'm not going to go into the details of that's the relationship. A relationship has a sanctity in it. It has a holiness to it. It has, a I don't want to say privateness because that's not, it has a privacy to it. Um but I'm going to fast forward to fill in the blanks. The beginning of this year, and when I say the beginning of this year, I mean January 2nd or 3rd. Either one of those dates. I was returning. I'm going to take this slow for the people that might need to process this. I was, at the beginning of this year, I was returning a $4,000 engagement ring. Because she said no. How that leads to today, I'm going to go back and we'll touch a little bit about the middle, but only if it's relevant to what we're talking about. I'm not going to, put people's business out there. That's not what this is for. I hugged her for the last time. I cried. She didn't. I cried as I was hugging her to say goodbye. And I said, "Take care of yourself." She said, "I'll try." As I was walking away from her, I said, "I love you." She said, "I love you too." And I looked back at her and stared at her for about, I want to say 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I walked out of the front door of her building, got in my rental car, and proceeded to drive to the airport to go home. It came down to the last day that I was there. I proposed on New Year's Eve. That ride, ah, that ride to the airport, I only remember 3 minutes of it. Because when I got in the car, it was a push start. And as I'm driving away, I just kept saying Jesus. Because I was basically, uh, I just kept saying Jesus for about 2 minutes. It was really to keep me from crying or breaking down, but I just kept saying Jesus for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And then after that 2 minutes was done, what again? 2 minutes, 2 minutes from leaving, 2 minutes from her house, out of my mouth, I said, "Okay, so what's next?" This points to one of the things that I wrote down. I saw it on Twitter the other day, like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, some people really probably still have that question. It says, how can people separate and the love disappears so quickly? 2 minutes it took me to say, okay, so what's next? And when I say what's next, I mean, if I was in a relationship the next week, I would have been fine. I don't lie. Y'all know I don't. I would have been fine. The reason I could do that so quickly, this is why I said filling in the blanks. The reason I could do that so quickly, there are people probably in the chat. I can't see who's in here, but there are people who can attest to this. When I was having issues with my relationship with this woman, young lady, I shut everything down. I stopped hanging out with people from let me back up. Let me put this. I stopped hanging out with family. I stopped hanging out with my boys, like the people that I knew before stream, the people I know IRL. The down from day one, if any of y'all remember them, Sniper, Sean, OD, if y'all remember any, those were my boys. I stopped hanging out with them, and then I stopped hanging out with people that I met in stream. I shut everything down. Why did I do that? Because of what I said to you about 15, 20 minutes ago. Relationship is the most important thing to me. Marriage is the most important thing to me. Knowing that that is the backbone of the family unit. When something, and I'm speaking to whoever I'm speaking to at this point, when something goes wrong in your relationship, you have to be willing to do that and have people hate you for it in order to potentially save, not potentially, in order to put forth the effort to save your relationship, you have to make some sacrifices and you have to be okay with whoever has something to say about you. A lot of my relationships with people that were around me got sacrificed because when things were going wrong, I needed to focus my energy on what was most important to me. And I don't mean that nobody else was important. Family, my boys, and the people I met from stream. And all three of those were not negative like experiences or negative influences or anything like that. All of them were positive. But again, the marriage unit, man, woman, the marriage unit is extremely important when it comes to the success of society, of the family unit as a whole. Need that first if it has any chance. So for me, again, relationships, extremely important. Extremely important. And I understood the value of what I was putting my energy into. I did everything possible to make it work. Everything. That's why in 2 minutes, I saved myself years worth of maybe I could. This is why I tell y'all, if you're going to do something, do it right. No regrets. No regrets. Put your all into it so that you can, so if you need to, you can walk away and you can walk away with a clear conscience. Whatever comes out of my mouth right now, Whatever comes out of my mouth right now, I got you, Frog. I saw it. Whatever comes out of my mouth right now, I am 100% willing to have challenged because I'm not making stuff up. As it relates to that situation, we were actually on stream. We were listening to a song on Monday by Alicia Cara. And it's funny. She said, which not funny, but me, I'm anyway. She said in her song, "I'm not brokenhearted, I'm disappointed." That's exactly what that was. I wasn't brokenhearted because in some ways, and I even said this to her while we were going through what we were going through. I said, "I hear what you're saying, but it's hard for me to ignore the writing on the wall. What you're saying and what you're doing don't match up." So it was a huge disappointment because of, okay, AJ, no problem. Appreciate you. Because of the potential it had. Love you too, buddy. Because of the potential it had. And I'm going to read something to you guys. This is the first thing. I'm going to read something to you guys. Because this happened to me, I am sharing my experiences in hopes that this doesn't happen to you or that you're better equipped to handle it so you don't get like stuck in it. This was a short that I typed out by Travis Green. Those in the gospel space, you know that he is he's a, you know, songwriter, musician, whatever. And this was a short that he did, and it was titled "Reset Your Expectation." Um, he was on a seesaw. I'm just kind of painting a picture for you. He was on a seesaw. He was at the bottom, and he had a younger guy, a young, like a probably a teenager, on top. And he said, I'm reading it word for word. Again, it's going to be in the description. He said, "My name is Disappointment." He was at the bottom, and he pointed to the guy up top, and he said, "His name is Expectation." So expectation was up here, disappointment was down here. He said, "The height of your expectation controls the depth of your disappointment." And he said, "You're expecting someone to be faithful who cheated at the bachelor party. You're expecting someone to apologize who never repented to God." Meaning, repented to God, repented meaning it's a kind of a religious word, but to break it down is to apologize, to understand that you did something wrong and be apologetic and actually sorry for it, not just accept it. The next thing he said was, "You're expecting someone to see your value who hates themselves." And the problem with improper expectations is that they'll keep you out of balance. Disappointment is the elephant. It's weighty, meaning it has a lot of weight. Disappointment is the whale that will take you to the depths. But disappointments are natural and easy to assess. It's very easy to point out disappointments. When you're weighed down with disappointment, it makes you move slower because you're dragging disappointment with you, and it just gets heavier. You'll never get healed by just acknowledging disappointment. You have to acknowledge the expectation. And the truth is, the expectation is too high and unrealistic. So, once again, I'm in a relationship with someone else who says that they're a Christian. Therefore, I had a certain expectation of what their life should look like if you say you're a Christian. Why? Because I'm living it. I have a right to expect what I planted in the ground to manifest itself in front of me. Um, there were moments, and we're going to get to This is I'm giving you it. Look, I'm telling you, we're gonna slow roll this because somebody needs to hear this. Hold on, let me. Yep, I'm just marking down what we've already done. Okay, so there were times. Well, there were times where I wanted to message her, the person I just got out of a relationship with. There were times I wanted to check on her. I wanted to see how she was doing. I wanted to try to be her friend. This is why I said it's very, very crucial to do all that you can do so that when these thoughts, because they're going to come back up. I was just talking to someone about this recently. When you're in this type of situation, the thoughts are going to come back up of what things that maybe you could have done because you got a good heart. You wanted it to work. It's not like you went into it trying to fail. You wanted it to work. So naturally coming up out of your heart, that's why they said whatever is in your heart will come out. What's in your heart is you wanted it to work, is you saw the potential. You saw how it could work. You like in your mind, you could picture it. You saw things. I was ready to pick up everything, meaning I was ready to move out of state to her because it would benefit her more than coming here. That's what she would have needed for a season. I was willing to do that. That's who I was. That's who I am. That's who I was in the relationship is what I'm saying. And when it ended, I had a question. And it got immediately answered. But I had a question. And I prayed to God and I said, you know me. You know what I'm about. You know that I'm loyal to the grave. So why would you send me somebody? Who is it? Why would you allow me to be in a situation like that? The reason why I asked this question is because I don't I don't I don't want to be out here single. I don't want to be out here doing this all over again. I don't like starting over. The energy and effort. I mean, I could have lost friends and family members for the type of energy I put into this, and they just walked away. I said to him, you know me. Why would why why would you allow me to be in a situation like that? Immediately, he responded back and he said, God doesn't fail you. People do. And from that moment on, I began to start healing. And going back to being able to have a clear conscience. When you've done all that you can, that statement saying that knowing, not necessarily a statement, but that thought process, that knowing, like you have some things where you're like, But when when you really know, like without a doubt, like nobody can challenge you. Not a single person on this earth can tell me that I didn't do everything I could to make that work. Whether she did or not is on her. I did my part. I wasn't the reason that that didn't work. When you do that and these thoughts come back, like, oh, maybe you could have done it this way and blah, 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 blah. Like, for me, I'm not gonna tell you to do it, but for me, what I was reminded of were the way I was treated after doing everything I could to make it work. Like, I'm not gonna go into specifics. I'll give one example, just one, because I want you to understand what it is that I'm talking about. I don't want to have to talk in circles, but it was one particular moment while while I was there during this last trip before I came home, where we were texting and we were getting into some not an argument, but like a debate and stuff like that. And I saw that it wasn't going very well. It 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 cost me thousands of dollars every time I wanted to see her, if even for 3 days. So, conversation wasn't going very well. I was staying 15 minutes away from her. I decided to get in my car so we could have a conversation face to face. She kept texting me and would not come out. I was talking to somebody recently. I'm just giving you some fuel so that you can see and recognize what type of person you're dealing with, because for me, my loyalty was abused in this situation. Was talking to someone and they were upset, like not to the point where they were screaming and crying and all that stuff, but it was like a open heart surgery type of wound. And they told me that basically what happened was they were in a relationship as well, and they were just trying to do something with their other, I'm not gonna say what it was, but it was like, like for example, um wanting to go out to the movies or something like that. It's just something simple, right? Something simple. And they wanted to do that with their I don't want to say partner because that means a different thing in 2024. They wanted to do something with their boyfriend or girlfriend. I'll leave it that way so that you can't figure out the gender of either one. But they wanted to do something with the person they were in a relationship with. And they basically got brushed off. Like, they basically, essentially what happened was they were like, oh, we can do that later or something like that, something along those lines. And they said to me, which they didn't even know, but they were part of the healing process for me because of what I had just gone through at the beginning of this year. So, like, it was so genuine that my heart hurt when I heard it. Not only because I was going through it, but because I understood where it was coming from. The person said to me, the reason that they had a problem with getting brushed off like that is not because, things come up or something like that. But they said to me, in a relationship with somebody that says that they love you, there are certain things you shouldn't have to ask for. And that healed me in such a way because, and again, I said it from the beginning, people are going to get offended. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. That healed me in such a way because my question as to why it didn't work, like my situation, why it didn't work, the person I was talking to began to heal me because I understood that I was dealing with the wrong person. Because the person was 100% right in what they said. Certain things you should not have to ask for from somebody that you say that you love. Like there's certain things that you just, that's a relationship. You love something, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you love video games, your controller doesn't have to ask you when's the next time you're picking it up. You just do it. So in that same vein, in that exact same vein, I got a new job. I got a new job at the beginning of May. And got a new job. It's like, anyway, I'm not gonna get into all of that. But point was, I'm meeting the different people in the store, the different people that work in the store or whatever. I forgot where I first saw it, but one day came to work and I round a corner, I want to say, for dramatic effect. I don't remember. Just for dramatic effect, just so you can understand what it was like. I rounded the corner and I saw a girl that worked at the store who I'd never seen before, and she looks exactly like who I just got out of a relationship with. Body structure was different, but the facial likeness, the skin complexion, the way that her hair was kind of like wrapped up, exactly like the person I just got out of a relationship with. That wasn't the only thing that happened. I began to see the person's name. I began to see like triggers in like movies and stuff all of that was going on. Like all of this stuff was happening at the same time. Not only does the girl look like her, she doesn't talk like her at all. Her demeanor is very different. But not only does the girl look like her, my store, pretty much on a daily basis, deals with things that are made and sent out from the city that she lived in. So pretty much like it's a brand. I don't want to say what it is, but like say if New York made something and they labeled the brand New York, and then they sent it to you and now you read it, it says New York. That's what I was experiencing. It was the city that she lived in. So I just smiled because, again, like I said to you, there's a price that I have to pay in order to be able to talk like this. I stared for when I first saw her for a little bit. We never made eye contact while I was staring, but I did say hello to her. I wasn't like, a jerk to her or anything like that. But it's interesting though, because in that, this is why I'm telling you that the healing process, in that, within 3 weeks of me starting at this job, the same girl that I'm talking about got promoted to supervisor of another department. And this isn't going to mean anything to you, but it means everything to me. She had a different hairstyle, one that was attractive to me. That was within 3 weeks of me being at this new place, meaning she already had something going on. That's a freebie for you guys trying to get into a relationship with people. She already had something going on when you got there. If her and I would have hooked up, we would have been adding to each other. I'm not interested in her because she wasn't, not that she wasn't attractive, she just wasn't attractive to me. But she looks, anyway. Something else happened where I was walking around the store. It's a retail store. I'm not going to say where it is. Some people know. I'm not going to say what it is. But I was walking around the store, and this time I did really round the corner. And I saw this woman, attractive. I just glanced at her. And I kept walking. And for a moment, my heart began to like get happy again. And the reason for that is because that little glance of the attractive woman and the, meeting the person who looked like her, them getting a promotion, all that stuff, all of that happened in a very short time span, very, very close to each other. But what that was a personal message to me to say that not everything's supposed to be complicated. And like, it gave me hope. That's the best way to put it. It gave me hope that what I was looking for, what I said was possible, is actually happening. It just might not be with this person. They might just be, it's happening. It's actually out there. And you don't need to be tormented and, almost feeling like to the point where you're abused to get it. Essentially, everything is not difficult. That's done. I'm kind of going through and I want to make sure that I account for everything. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. And the last point I want to make, and then we'll get into that's done. The last point I want to make in reference to the healing process. And then we'll get into like talking actually about the stream. I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind me sharing this story. A few weeks, no, I don't want to say weeks. Within the last few months, I'll just put it that way. Some of y'all will know exactly what I'm talking about, but when the new heist came out for GTA, the chicken, the Cluck and Bell thing or whatever, with the guy, we call him lip gloss around here, but with the guy who was the security guard for the casino, when that came out, I was playing it with Queen. I was hosting the mission. Again, she wouldn't mind me telling you this. But I was playing it with her, and one of the missions was, I mean, it's GTA. One of the missions was to steal a vehicle, right? And I believe we had to bring it somewhere. Now, it's still a regular mission, you can run out of lives and stuff like that, but you can spectate and still keep going. So while we were going towards the vehicle, I don't know if we died together or if I was the only one that died. But anyway, we ran out of lives and I had to spectate her. And she was confused as to what the target was. And I was like, hey, that's on the, it's not word for word, but you'll get the point. It was like, hey, that, the vehicle's right there. Just grab that one. And she was like, no, I don't think it's that one. I'm like, listen, that's it's that. Like, just grab it. So she gets into it. It's not the right vehicle. It was the only vehicle on the thing, but it's not the right vehicle. What is my point? I, not even to the point of saying anything, like she probably doesn't even know. I don't know the right word. I'll just use this word because it's just, it'll help with, I got frustrated with her because she wasn't listening to me. The problem with that situation was that I told her that was the vehicle we had to grab because that's the only one that was there. Her response was, I don't think that's the right vehicle. Okay? Those are the two statements that were made. Both of those statements were 100% correct. But I wasn't all the way right. And the reason I got frustrated is because I was in a situation where I always had to be the one to figure everything out. This is how you begin to heal. This is how you open back up to the world. You just got to pay attention. I got frustrated with her, even though she was right, because I'm the one who had to always have the answers to everything. I had to do everything in order for something to work. And that's not how relationships are supposed to be. When it was time to talk about something, I initiated the conversation. When we had a list of things to talk about, I got stuff together. I made sure that we talked about everything. I made sure this, I made sure that. So I'm just pointing out to you guys what the healing process looks like. And you have to be careful when moving from one situation to the next because you don't know what residue is left over. You don't know what you picked up along the way. Now we get to streaming. This is the part that may get uncomfortable for some, but it's very real. Just like I was tired of doing everything in this last relationship, and when that ended and I started to reevaluate what I was putting in versus what I was getting back, when I looked at stream, I looked at it as the exact same situation. I did everything and there was virtually no response back. There were people that reached out while I was streaming to say hi. They knew I was streaming and didn't show up. There were people that only reached out when they wanted something, to ask a question or whatever, and wouldn't reach out to see how I was doing. We have a Discord. You probably, yeah, there's the command for it about 5 messages up. That would go unnoticed. And what I mean by that is I'm on Twitter. I get Twitter notifications a lot. Like when I wake up, I probably have about 13, depending on what time I went to sleep throughout the day. I can't be on my phone as much because of the job I have, and it's kind of busy right now, especially with me being new. I'll come into like 5 or 6 notifications. I look through the notifications, see what I believe might be interesting for somebody, and I post it to the Discord. And then either something will happen in stream or it'll happen off stream, and it'll be like, hey, did you know such and such happened? I'm like, yeah, I posted it in the Discord and you're in there. So one of the questions that kind of came up was, when did I know things were changing in terms of stream? There were several things that happened. The Discord, I mentioned being one of them. Another one was when my regulars, the people who frequent the stream, started saying, hey, I'll keep a tab up. That was really annoying. If I was the type of person to be offended, that was really offensive. Because I'll keep a tab up is literally the complete opposite of who I am as a streamer. Complete opposite. Not even remotely close to who I am. I only, if yeah, I'm trying to listen. If I wanted to just play a game, I could do this. I could do this. I ain't got to turn the camera on. I since the beginning of when I started, we had FTL check. And a lot of people may not know what that is. We had FTL check on Mixer to make sure you're faster than light. That was the low latency. The reason when God told me to stream, the reason I selected Mixer over Twitch, because Twitch was still operating on a delay. That's not what I wanted for my community. I picked whether Mixer failed, right? They partnered with Facebook Gaming. They're no longer Mixer, whatever. They failed. But I chose the option that gave me the best chance of interaction. And as a regular, whatever's going on, I would... That's me ranting. I would rather you leave the stream than leave a lurk up. That's me ranting. But I picked Mixer for the interaction. And as a regular, and when I mean regular, I mean there wasn't a whole lot of regulars that I got on Twitch. I'm being honest. This is why I said I don't know what happened on Twitch. I don't know. But most of my regulars came from Mixer. So they know the culture. And for them to say, I'll keep a tab up, was offensive if I was the type of person to get offended. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I gave him a shout out in my YouTube video. Air was one of the like I said in the video, in the YouTube video, original Three Musketeers. It was him, Frog, and Tech. That was my community for a very long time. But that was ultimately what led me here. People were only here for certain games. And I'm not going to show it now because there's no point. I have about 3 different Discord channels filled with ideas. And I'm trying to convince myself to implement these ideas for people who don't even show up. I had playlists. I deleted it, but I had playlists on building communities. I had playlists on things to talk about while streaming. I had playlists on how to make better stuff on YouTube, how to make a more advanced Discord, even bot commands, all of that stuff. And I couldn't bring myself to do it because, like I told you guys before, I don't have a problem with the discipline to do something. Some of these stories that y'all have heard today, I streamed through them while my heart was aching, while I was trying to figure out, what to do with, like, knowing that I was going to walk into something when I got off a stream, or some days I even had to cancel stream and you didn't even know why. I had to live through this. The discipline was never the issue for me. It was the motivation to do it. Why am I doing this? That's what I began to ask myself a lot when it came to streaming, especially because I had proven myself. Like, in terms of, you never heard about me doing anything inappropriate with a viewer. You never heard me cursing at a viewer. Exactly who I said I was on day one is exactly who I am today. I maintained exactly, like, the image, the brand. I remember we were having a conversation. Easy was here. I remember we were having a conversation. We were having one of these talks during, I think, 2K23, I want to say it was. And I was talking about this same topic, saying that, do you know how fragile the image I have on stream is? If anybody ever heard me curse, if anybody caught me in a lie, it would break apart every single thing I did since day one. And it's never happened. And he was like, it was a joke, of course, but he was like, oh, we'll get him eventually in terms of cursing. Never happened. So for me to have proven the value of myself as a person, and to essentially be like, hey guys, I'm available, and then have this thing happen. I brought some visual aids. I'm not gonna bore you guys, but to have this happen, hold on, let me put it right there. Nope, there it is. Okay, this was Monday. I don't keep my view count up, but I get summaries at the end of every stream. This was Monday. 3.5 hours. And I'm not showing this to beg for views, to be like, oh, guys, I could have really used. No, I'm showing you this because this is what I was living for the past couple of months while streaming. This is not the only time this has happened. This is the only time I've shown it. This is not the only time that this has happened. So when and you think I'm kidding. I think it's a game. I really think it's a game. Hold on. Y'all think it's a game here. I don't. I think it's a game. All of these games here, I think it's a game. 139 games. You see this? See this? There are games that came out years ago that I would not allow myself to play because I was waiting to play it on stream. This isn't even all of them. This is just what I have space for. All of this stuff, I purposely sacrificed my immediate enjoyment of the game so that I could bring it to stream. I just showed y'all a list. You can pause it if you like. I installed over like 40 games since I announced that today would be my last stream. At least 40. At least 40, probably more. Because again, why am I doing this? It's not for me. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm not a full-time streamer. And again, like I said in the beginning, this is me with the gloves off because I've been here 5.5 years. I'm not getting paid to do this. This is not financially beneficial for me to keep doing this. Do you know how many, I told you 5.5, right? Do you know how many of those years my mom told me that she believed that I should take a break from streaming? Do you know how many other opportunities I had to do other things than just be here for 4 hours, 3 times a week, the same schedule that I was on Mixer? Was here while I was sick, was here when I had just cried right before coming on. Again, I'm not saying this to make anybody feel guilty. I'm just being honest with you with the stuff that I've had to carry. This is not to make anyone, like not a single person. For the people, and that's the funny thing too. For people that are apologizing now, I mean no disrespect, but the damage was done a long time ago. There's nothing you could say to me that would make a difference. This decision did not happen overnight. Just like I showed you that screenshot where no one was here, that wasn't the first time. That wasn't the 5th time. That wasn't the 10th or 15th or 30th time I had to look at that. So for the people apologizing, I'm not going to say it's too late, but the apology is more for you than it is for me. It does nothing for me. No disrespect. It doesn't do a thing for me. I remember having, and this is why I said in reference to stream, I remember having a conversation with Frog, and he can attest to this. I remember having a conversation with Frog recently when we were, discussing some things to do, and, the whole V-Rising thing eventually came up out of that, which was fun. He used a word like almost to like where it was like tattooed on his forehead. He used the word relevant. He was like, oh man, we got to do something relevant. And he's like, and I was like, oh, what if we do this? He's like, I don't know if people will watch that. It's not really relevant. I'm gonna show you something right here. These are 4 videos of the same game. 4 videos of the same game. Okay. This was taken today. I took these snippets today. This game came out in 2019. These are views from 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm not one to hide anything. This person has 1.23 million subscribers. This, except for this number, these 3 videos are 10% of his viewers. This is the screen I live on. Subscribers, and then I just leave my screen here to look at the views. This video right here, you asked why did I stop streaming? This was one of the funnest games I played. And enjoyed. And it has 1 view. And whoever viewed it, as of May 9th, there were 0 views. It was out for like 3 weeks. Whoever viewed it only viewed an hour and a half video for 3 minutes. So tell me why I should keep doing this. Now, oh, by the way, I didn't finish my visual aids. I didn't finish it. That video, this right here was the Days Gone video, right? Was the Days Gone game, came out 4 years ago. The game I just showed you that had 1 view, it literally just got the second game came out a couple of weeks ago. If it's more than 2 weeks, it came out at the end of May. This is how long each of those videos were. Looks like stream numbers to me. 3-hour video with 318,000. 3 hours, that's almost 4 hours. And that one has 700. So and again, I'm not showing you this because I'm bitter. I'm showing you this because I want you to understand the next time I'm doing this for the person coming after me. The next time you have an opportunity to support somebody, remember what I said to you. Support is underrated. Do you know what the YouTube algorithm works on? I watched a Mr. Beast video. This is how I was trying to get better for y'all. I watched a Mr. Beast video. You know what he said the algorithm benefits the most from? He was talking to a dev. He had a dev of the algorithm sitting next to him. He said what basically the conversation went, what separates you from the 1,000 other videos that are posting of the same game? He said, it's a computer doing this. How does a computer know to recommend this video to somebody else? Some people said it was likes. In this video, it was as simple as watching the video. If a video gets a 10-second view, it's not going to be recommended like the one that gets watched till the end of a 15-minute view. The next time you have an opportunity to support somebody, on YouTube specifically, watch the video. You want to like it? Helps a bit. Watch their content. Again, going back to how I got here, I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube. And I'm not at all, again, this isn't like, hey, you guys didn't support me. Maybe my target audience was a little too specific. I like to make clean content. If I didn't, I guarantee you I'd have more people watching. That's just what's popular these days. That's just me thinking of it from a business sense. I didn't want to make money from this, but even up until last week, I'm like, should I really stop? And then Monday's stream happened. I'm like, you know what? If people showed up, maybe this could spark something. No. That didn't happen. When it came to me, again, this is just another point about the whole stream thing. While I was going through a bunch of different things with jobs and stuff like that, I was still sub to people. $5. What? Let me put it this way. What is $60? $60 is probably a game, maybe even, if you're greedy, a night out at a restaurant. What is also $60? A year subscription on Twitch. How many things have you wasted $60 on? Again, this is not for me. Don't at all. Like, don't give me anything. I'm gonna randomly gift 7 people some subs just so I can get my final payout from Twitch. I'm done. I'm taking down the donation list. I don't want anything from this. This was to help people. So the reason I'm stopping this is because I'm noticing there's nobody here. So I need to go do something else because somebody needs me. And if it's not here, I need to go find them. Because at no way am I 34 years old and I'm just done helping people. After all the stuff that I just told y'all I went through, not a chance. I haven't even started living yet. While I was going through what I was going through, I was still sub to people. Even when I lost my job in 2021. The reason my subs, because if anybody, I mean, you could just ask me, but if, I get it, it might be uncomfortable. If anybody wants to know why I stopped subbing to them, it's because I literally didn't have $5 in my account. I didn't stop my sub. My money ran out. I subbed till I didn't have any more money. That's how much I supported the people that I actually supported, whether they believed in what I believed in or not, regardless of the type of content they were. I supported the person, multiple people. So if anybody who sees this wonders why I stopped subbing, it's because my bank account went negative while I had no job. That's the type of support I'm talking about. Not only here for certain games, only here on certain days, only message when you want something. That's not what I'm not looking for that. That's not the type of person I am. So that's not the people I keep around me. And when that happened, when my bank account hit zero, this was another moment. This is why I'm just giving y'all some examples of stuff that y'all can just take with y'all for the rest of your life, whether you ever see me again or not. When my bank account hit zero, I wondered where was the support from the people that I was supporting. I'm not saying this for bragging rights. I'm airing everything out so I don't get tempted to make another video about this topic. I gave for the people that I supported, and y'all know I don't give out my follows for free. It was about a good 4 people, I want to say. At least 3. But I want to say maybe a good 3. I'll say a solid 3. To those 3 people, over the course of met every single one of them on Mixer. Over the course of 5.5 years of me streaming, to each, not total, to each of them, I gave thousands of dollars to. For no reason at all, except for the fact that I said I supported them. Whether they had a donation goal or not, didn't matter. That's what support looks like. So when it came to the Batman series having 5 episodes, I don't have the energy for this anymore. I don't mean it again, I'm not a disrespectful person, but that's why I said realistically, for what? For what? Like I had to really take it back to the street. Why am I doing this for you? If you don't appreciate it, why am I doing this? Not to say that I've never asked for anything. When have y'all seen me put up a donation goal or a follower goal or any type of goal? All I asked in return, all I've ever asked was for this thing right here. I never asked anybody for any money. The only reason I have a donation, I don't even remember who it was at this point. Somebody asked me to put it up. I didn't want it. I didn't have one. Somebody in my chat asked me to put it up. That's the only reason it's there. So right now, as it relates to streaming, and I want to make sure that I'm clear because it seems like I don't want it to, like, again, bittersweet depending on how you look at it. It's all sweet for me because the Discord's still going to be up. Me as a content creator, I'm pretty much done. I've had my run at it. I am subject to the voice of God. That's the only reason why I started streaming in the first place. So if he wants me to do it at a later time, I'm not going to say no to it. That means that there's an assignment for me to do. There's somebody he wants me to help. But as of right now, I am making space for the things that value me. The things that give back to, again, support, underrated. Just like we said with relationships. When you say you love someone or you say you support, you say you want the best for someone, there's certain things you shouldn't have to ask for. I didn't ask for anything. I tell y'all don't have to hit the follow button. I tell you don't have to donate. You don't have to subscribe. I shouldn't have to ask for that stuff if you support me. I shouldn't have to ask you to show up. I read this article today. It's funny because Google has like AI now, and it was actually pretty funny. I had to laugh because it's me. It's me. I'm not gonna put it up on the screen because some of y'all eyeballs might just. It's a white screen. It's a white background. I don't know what to tell you. The title of the article. Now this is dated. I think it's November 30th. November 30th of 2023. So 7 months ago. One of the topics in here is how to get people to watch your stream. It says, if you are trying to find out how to get people to watch your stream, one of the best ways is to just be yourself. You should let your personality come through on stream and let people get to know you over time. A lot of new streamers get caught up with trying to emulate or copy someone else's style. If you try to be someone you're not, most can spot it easily, so just relax and be natural on your stream. One of the best practices for streaming is to stick to your schedule. Have set days for certain types of streams and be consistent. Some great advice. This is the part that really made me laugh. Some great advice for new streamers on how to increase stream views is to take on board community feedback and suggested stream ideas. You should also spend some time each stream communicating with your audience. You can get some great content ideas from your audience while streaming. This is gonna, for those who've been around, this is gonna hit home. This next one. Encourage community suggestions for fun things to do on live stream via a straw poll, for example, and store the results away for a future broadcast. Many viewers are now avoiding big streamers and joining smaller communities. It is easy to feel just a statistic when part of a huge audience. With smaller broadcasters, you have more chance of being heard. Just keep this in mind when feeling disheartened by your initial follower and subscriber count when working on how to get people to watch your stream. The same way I got into streaming, meaning I knew nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing. But when it was time, I would go into, and I still remember some of their names. I would go into streams. Some of y'all know the story. After writing some things down that I was trying to figure out, I would go into some streams, and they would be talking about exactly that. So in reference to the end of me streaming, I'm reading articles like, hey, I did all of that. I did exactly that. That's why I'm not bitter, because like I said to y'all before, those ideas, there's over 100, maybe over 200 ideas. that could benefit somebody. Maybe what I'm doing here, I could hand this over to somebody who's trying to be successful at streaming, because I don't come up with stupid ideas. Maybe it's just not my time to stream right now. Maybe it's time for me to do something else, which is why I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not, just trust me, I'm not angry at anybody. But at the same time, I have to pay attention to the people who really supported me. And at this point, I don't know if it happened on Mixer or Twitch. I know specifically it happened a few times on Twitch, but I had to quickly, if I even had to pull it up, I had to quickly get off of my friends list. Like, cause like I'm streaming, if I'm playing on Xbox, I had to quickly move through my friends list because I didn't want to see the people who were doing other stuff while I was streaming, even perhaps playing the same game that I'm playing. Again, I'm not trying to hoard people. I'm not talking from a place where, come on, man, you missed one stream out of the whole month. No, you probably were there one stream out of the whole month. I've already had people, and this is why I said I'm not, I apologize if you get offended, but if you get offended, it's probably for a good reason. This is why I'm trying to help you help somebody else, because I'm done. I'm trying not to make this into a rant because I'm really not angry. I'm just passionate because I really believe that, like, I gotta. Anyway, let me get back to the Discord thing really quick, because what I'm going to turn the Discord into is for those who are really, really interested in keeping in contact. I'm still gonna have the Discord. What I'm gonna turn the Discord into is a kind of looking for group kind of thing. But I'm gonna say this before anybody gets their hopes up, before anybody gets excited, before anybody starts spamming the Discord. No one is obligated to do anything. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If I'm just playing a game one day and I don't feel like playing by myself, hey, if anyone's available, I'm playing Apex. If nobody responds, 2 days later, hey guys, I got the urge to play some Fortnite. I'm on Fortnite. That's it. If like, I'm not gonna get rid of the general chat or anything like that. Like, if you want to talk to people, I'm not like some type of Hitler type. That's not what I'm going for. But I'm giving you the freedom to still be in contact with me if you really want to. If you don't, I'm not offended. If like, and I mean this, if I never see another notification in Discord from my server, I won't be offended. That just means for me, it's time for me to do something else. Just like with the stream, I'm not offended. I appreciate every single person that was here because they had a part to play when they did. Every single person that was here, they taught me something, whether it was negative or positive. Every single person taught me something. Every person was here during the season that they needed to be. Whether you went off on your own and did something else, it was your choice. That's what I was teaching you, the power of a decision. So I'm just, again, trying to help those who maybe are just starting out at streaming, or if you're still in the streaming community, my message to you is be a better viewer. I mean no disrespect. I can comfortably say it. And I don't have to hesitate. I am a better viewer than every single one of my viewers. Every single one. Every single one. Have been since the beginning. It's not to offend anyone. Because I understand the viewer streamer relationship, not because I stream, but because I'm a person that pays attention. The person has a camera on. They're playing a game. The chat isn't moving. You see, they might be having a rough time. Talk to them. It's not complicated. Give them something to focus on so they can get out of their own mind because they might be having a bad time. Or, hey, they're playing Apex. How about you make a comment that has to do with Apex? It's not complicated. I was telling my coworkers the other day, I was like, you cannot pay for common sense these days. I don't know what happened to people. I genuinely don't. This is not shots at anyone. You cannot pay for common sense these days. So hopefully this wakes somebody up. Like, I hope this ruins your day, because tomorrow you'll wake up a better person and be able to support somebody the way you could have supported here. Whether it's a family member, whether it's yourself, whether it's yourself going into business, knowing what to look for from the people that are supporting you. I saw this commercial the other day. They mentioned it in reference to teachers, and it was a post on Facebook that I saw about the teachers, and then I kind of thought about it when I saw a commercial, and it was for like a doctor type of show. They were saying how teachers and doctors don't just affect the life in front of them, but they touch every life that life touches. That's how I see what's going on here. I want y'all to be better viewers. Be better viewers than you were here. Please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The bigger streamers don't need your view. You're already subbed to them, probably. I purposely went into smaller some of the streamers that some of the streamers that are where they are today, I was the one person talking to them before they got their chat going. And yes, I am talking about the people who I supported. The 3 people, 2 of them had smaller communities when I found them than they do today. I'm not angry. I just have to put that out there. I'm not angry. I'm passionate about the truth. Just like the article said, you're just another statistic in a large stream. Now, don't get me wrong. I go into streams and I just sit there. That's just the kind of relationship I have with the person. But if nothing's happening, even if, like, there's streamers, I go in there and I just say GG. You, I don't know. I guess some people have to have a negative experience in order to really understand what support looks like. Like, just someone saying GG could turn into a 3-hour conversation. Not about the GG, but because there was a line of communication that the streamer could attach itself to. He or she didn't have to go talking about the stupid game. Sorry, that was a 2K thing. I gotta come back because 2K just kind of takes me out there. It's just the easiest example. When you're having a rough time in a game, you don't want to talk about that game unless it, like, you don't I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Like I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, how people can be so blind to other people who are in the exact same situation, even playing the same game as you. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, something really quick. For those who might be offended, um, because I didn't reach out to them when I needed something, like to talk to them. Like for those people who are like, hey, my DM's always open. I'm talking to you right now. I want to package this in a way where it makes sense. So, what I'll say is when you were in school and you had problems with your math homework or a math assignment, let's just keep it simple. Did you go to your English teacher to talk about your math problems? Did you go to the gym teacher to talk to them about science? I'm not talking about if they taught both. Okay, let's not be a jerk about it. Would you go to somebody who has no idea what the topic at hand is about? Or would you go back to the person who has some familiarity with the topic? Rhetorical question. It, the chat, I mean it. The chat can be completely quiet and I'm fine. So for the people who open their DMs to me, what I want to say to you is the reason I'm streaming, y'all heard what happened before me, before Mixer. This is going up on YouTube, so if you're just getting here, it'll be posted at a later time. You can hear the full story about what happened there and what happened this year. But if you don't understand how I got here, if you weren't the person who told me to come here, how can you tell me what to do next? Here's what I'm saying. I'm going to break it down. Just that was for my deep people who caught it the first time. I'm going to break it down. Many of you, I don't proclaim it because there's enough bad examples in the world that I really don't want to be part of another negative statistic. I am a very spiritual person. I'm a very spiritual minded person, meaning I believe in God, I pray, I go to church, all of that stuff. Y'all hear I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but you hear the music that I listen to. It's not all gospel. That's not, so let's not get it twisted here. But you see the type of content I make. If you don't understand what I'm made up of at my core, how can you help me? I said it to somebody. I don't know if they got I don't know if it hit them. I said to someone, I said, lost the thought. Had it and lost it. I had it and lost it. We'll bring it back at another point if it's necessary. But the point is, what are you? Nah, that's a little rough. That's a little rough. I'm gonna skip past that. Y'all get the point. I am a very spiritual minded person. There it is. Thought came back. I said to someone, I am not the type of person that is used to talking about things where nothing happens. I'm not the vent to vent type. Vent just to vent. I'm the type to vent to get a solution. That comes from my spiritual beliefs. I don't like, and again, I'm not trying to push this on anyone. I have never asked anyone what you believe. I have never pushed what I believe on anyone. I'm just me. This is the rule book that I live by, so this is how I operate. This is what I'm presenting to you. Funny enough, believe it or not, this in essence was kind of like an online church. That's, I'm just being honest with you. Anyway, I'm not that person. I'm not that person. So I didn't reach out to you because I didn't believe you could truly help me. No offense. I learned things from a lot of people. I learned things from all of you guys. But when it comes to specific things of a spiritual nature, that's not something I play around with. Because that's something that's very dear to me. That's something that's very important to me. And I don't want that tampered with. There were some streams, and I even put it in the title. I'm starting to feel too normal. Meaning, I allowed the stream to tell me, based off of the numbers that you saw for Monday, I allowed the stream to tell me I was just another guy. I was just common. I was just somebody else that hit the go live button and nobody showed up for. I was the one at the bottom of the directory because nobody was watching. Just giving you an example as to when I know things were shifting and things needed to be changed. So we did all the maintenance in terms of what's going to be happening to the YouTube playlist. Twitch, it's a no-brainer. There's not going to be anything here. Let me see if there's anything else here. No, I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's specific to that. That's specific to that. Okay. Just to switch it up a little bit. In I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But you know what? I'll leave it in a Discord. That's what I'll do. If you really want to, I'm not trying to be funny, but Discord is free. It's the least complicated of everything I could ask you to do. So what I'm going to do is at the end of all of this, I'm going to put a link to the Discord in the description. It's going to be one that doesn't expire, so, use that. I'm going to put all my contact information, like my Xbox gamer tag, Steam, and I do have a PSN, but I don't have a PlayStation. So when that happens, I'll let you know. I'll put it in there. Because I don't have a problem with being friends after this. I told you I don't get offended. I'm not offended. I'm just real about what happened. I'm just real about it. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept doing this. It was rough, but I had fun. If even one person was in the chat, I was fine. I was content. I don't have viewers up. I don't know who's listening to this right now. I could be talking to myself again, me and the bot. Been there. So, I don't I really don't want somebody to like look at me like as like some type of authoritarian who's criticizing your life and telling you you were the worst person on this earth. That's not accurate. What I want you to do is be better. Be better. Take what I'm saying And wherever the shoe fits, like I said, if you get offended or if something's like, ugh, it's for a reason. That's how you know what you need to work on. You know, one of the things, one of the questions here, what will I miss about Twitch, YouTube, and Discord? Honestly, this sucks. I don't want to stop streaming. I would have like all of this stuff that I'm trying to do, the Fall Guys, Fortnite, Apex, all of that, 2K even, all that. I would love to be like, hey, I'm playing this game. Come play with me. I can't do that now because I'm not streaming. Now I'm gonna have to not trying to be funny. I'm gonna have to meet people the old-fashioned way. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, because obviously there is life outside of streaming. I'm just saying that this was a format I was extremely comfortable with. You come in, let's talk. You know, we just had a good game. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss the times when it was actually active and when people were excited about it. Maybe again, maybe that's my fault. I didn't advertise. Honestly, I didn't think I had to. I felt like if I could get like the core of who was watching me to engage in the things that I was doing, it would bring more people. I didn't think I had to advertise. I didn't pay a single dollar towards advertising. What was the most fun thing I've done on this channel? Lately, to be honest, most recently, it was the opportunity I had to stream with Frog. Whether we were playing V Rising or Brawlhalla, um, having somebody to bounce my energy off of that was basically literally like it was just like a what do you call it? Um it's basically two trampolines and a person just bouncing back and forth. You say, yeah, dude, but when Mixer was around, still it was the best place to have a community. The only thing Mixer provided was convenience. Every single person who had an Xbox could, well, I don't know if it was pre-installed, but they had access to the Mixer app. Every single person. That was convenience. I never got partnered on there. The most I had was the Ember program. Never got partnered. I didn't allow y'all to do Sparks. I purposely, y'all know, I told y'all, go give them to people who it actually does something for. It was convenience. And I'm not trying to be rude, but when it stopped being convenient, people stopped showing up. Twitch, there is not near, I cannot count on one hand or even remember on one hand. Actually, one, Ramsey. Fen, kinda, but in terms of consistency, I can't count on one hand how many people I've met on Twitch versus the countless people on Mixer because it was convenient. Going into Twitch, you get drowned out by every single person because Twitch is the top. Mixer wasn't up there. Why do you think they went after Ninja? Twitch is at the top of every streaming platform. Every single one. It does. If you say Twitch, people know exactly what you're talking about. And you're in the gaming community, they know exactly what you're talking about. People didn't know Mixer. What's Kick? People now streaming on TikTok. YouTube wasn't up there like that either. That is why I tried to reinforce the core that I had on Mixer going into Twitch. It didn't happen the way I would have liked it to, but it happened the way it needed to. So, what's the worst thing I've done? That's a hard one. I don't look at things as negative experiences. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but the worst part is what we've been talking about. To be here. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but for those of y'all that kept living your life, I was still here. I held the line for everything every memory that we had on Mixer, every memory that I had since the day I started streaming, I held the line right here. Did we or did we not stream on Mixer until the day of it shutting down? Then we moved over to Twitch. Some people moved over early to get started. We stayed there till it was like, you can't stream here anymore. I held the line. What is it? Is it piloted? Technically? I guess piloted is the right word. I piloted the ship while everybody went off and did their own thing. Got girlfriends, got another group of friends, got a job, whatever decisions was happening I was still here. Holding everything down, trying to hold everything together, giving people a place to come back to. What I'm going to do now is I've waited long enough to do it. I have I'm laughing. It's not funny at all. It's comical to me because that's just who I am. Instead of getting upset about stuff or getting angry or even going down that or even looking at that path, I just laugh to keep from getting mad or disappointed or frustrated. But in reference to the Tiger Talks and stuff like that, I have one submission for the thing that's pinned up there that has been there for over a year now, or at least it's definitely been 6 months, but it's probably been like 8 or 10 months. I have one submission, and the person said that they wanted to be addressed directly. So I am going to read this. There we go. This is from Ramsey. Shout out to you, Ramsey. I sincerely appreciate you. Like I said, huge breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for your support. Regardless, I saw it come in, but I didn't read it specifically. It has to what's happening? I think I know what that is. Okay. I waited specifically for stream. So it says, hi Z, I am writing this just as a letter of appreciation for you and all the hard work you've been putting in continuously all these years. Thank you for all the amazing efforts you've put in and enduring all the bad things that happened to you along the road just to keep the content creation up and going. Thank you for giving me good advice every time I asked you to do so. Thank you for 6+ hours of consistent streams. I am so honored to be a part of your journey. I am so happy I met you. You've made an incredible impact on my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a role model, selfless and caring. Clicking on your stream that one night was one of the best decisions I've ever made, with no exaggerations. Thank you for being a great friend, brother, and mentor for me and for a lot of people. This is very sad. I will miss you so much and getting to spend time with you. But as I said from the beginning, whatever decision you take, I will be supporting you. If stepping away from the spotlight as a whole makes you happier, I'm happy it does. We just want you to be happy and well. I really hope we could continue to see you and talk to you in one way or another. I know you hate apologies for the long message, but I'm sorry for the long message. LOL. These are just some things that had to be said. With love, Ramsey. So, um, yeah, I mean, he said what he said. Um, Not a lie told there. Um, you said, dang, that's enough to make me cry. Thanks for everything, brother. You definitely changed my whole life since the moment we met. Thank you, dude. That's what I was here for. That's what I was here for. So that's why I said, and exactly what he said. Um, I really hope we could continue to see you and talk to you in one way or another. I'm not trying to alienate myself from anyone. Um, but if this if this was some type of, preacher's sermon, the title of it, I actually have a title. The title is Develop Your No. N-O. No is appropriate. You have to know, basically, now I'm going to switch it, the K-N-O-W. You have to know when it's time to shift. That's why I said to you, in anything you do, give it your 150%. Because if you need to walk away, you should be able to do so with a clear conscience. There is not one single person. I don't care what I don't care what comes up in chat. If you want to tell me I'm a jerk or something like that, whatever you want to say in the chat, there is not one thing, anyone, I don't care. I don't care where you're coming from, when you met me, how long you've met me. The funny thing about Ramsey is he's got a 6-hour time difference, and he was more committed than people who are in my same time zone. So this is why I said there is not one single person that can make me feel bad about anything that I've done while I was streaming. I was the exact same person you met on day one that I am today. So I'm not trying to alienate people. I'm not trying to, discard people and get rid of people or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm doing exactly what I teach you guys to do. The power of a decision, and make sure that when you put your name on something, when you put your personal touch on something, you put all of you in it. All of you in it. All of you in it. So that way, when it's over, or if you need to step away, or if you need to do something else, you have a clear conscience. I have 100% a clear conscience. If nobody, and that's what I'm saying. I never asked y'all for anything. And as much as y'all, give me, uh, kudos or however you want to put it, um, you know, uh, calling me a role model or whatever, I am who I am. And I never asked y'all for anything. You know what I mean? Like, I was here to help. And as long as I've done that, and I know that was my mission. I know that was my assignment to be here. If none of y'all ever say another word to me, I know I did what I was supposed to do. And y'all didn't really give that to me. God gave that to me. That's why God is so important to me. Because in these situations where I just showed you the numbers of Monday stream, and that wasn't that happened frequently. In those times, you can't be relying on somebody else's opinion on what you should. That's why I told you, how many times do you think I had to like fight to keep this stream alive? I fought my girlfriend because, well, just being honest, there was times when I'm like, okay, we're talking for hours or whatever, and then she'll get quiet, and then when it's time for me to stream, she'll say something else. I'm like, you know what it is I'm doing here. You know why I'm doing it. Don't do that. Like, don't get in between what God told me to do and you being here. Those are two very different things. Be careful with that. I'm just telling y'all for the spiritually minded. Be careful with that. Make sure, and that's been my entire life. I'm just being honest with you. Make sure that God is okaying your decisions. You don't need approval from every single person on the world on the earth. You're not going to get it. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. There were some things that I had to do, including a decision I made this year. Some people know about it. I'm going into a different line of work. There are some decisions that nobody's going to agree with you, but you have to know it's exactly what you're supposed to do. Nobody around me was streaming. I didn't know what streaming was. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. They didn't teach me. My family I'm talking about, they didn't teach me anything. But when I knew who was speaking to me, when I knew who was leading me to do it, he already paid for it. That's why every bit of information I needed was there. That's why I knew not knew exactly, but that's why I stumbled. It's you don't stumble spiritually, but that's why I went into those chats I was supposed to go into because they had information that I needed. Everything was there. The money was there. This I'm still paying on this stuff. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm still paying on this stuff. This stuff was all of this over the course of this was over about $8,000 to $10,000 collectively. 3 monitors. This is probably my 3rd laptop. I got 2 lights here and a desktop with this mic and 2 stream decks. One I got to give away. The arms and stuff. All of this was about 10. Camera. Keyboard. Mouse. This is my 2nd one, maybe 3rd. This wasn't cheap to do this. So, again, when you are getting involved in something, know your own value. That's why I can walk away from this. Because, again, I'm not a full-time streamer. At one point, I wanted to be, but I didn't have enough support to make it happen. Just being honest. I'm and I don't, and again, I'm not, y'all know I'm not a disrespectful person. I used to stay out of people's streams because they were doing exactly what I was doing and people were just enjoying the crap out of it. They were playing the same games I was playing, and I come back to my stream playing a new game on day 1 and nobody's there. That's how you know that something spiritually is going on. When you're doing exactly the same thing and you're getting a different result. Spiritually speaking. God sent me here. If what I'm doing is no longer working, that means it's time to switch. And you gotta be comfortable with it. You gotta be comfortable with it. I'm getting back into basketball shape. I've been to 4 open gyms in the last month. I'm getting back into basketball shape. So that's why I said maybe y'all will see something else. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't want to give you a false hope. That's not me at all. You know that. But I don't know if God's gonna call me back to, if I want to post something on YouTube some time from now. I don't know. I all I know is that right now this is not it. And I'm gonna get back to enjoying my games and playing my games when I want to play them and not trying to set up a schedule and all of this stuff. There's a lot. Oh my God, it would blow your mind if you knew the type of stuff I went through just for nobody to show up. It would destroy somebody else. Me, there's a price I pay. There's a price I pay. I'm fine. It had to happen to me because I'm one of the ones, I'll put it that way. I'm not gonna say I'm the only one because that's a lie. I'm one of the ones who could take it. My message here today is not about streaming. It's about support. It's not about streaming. I don't talk to y'all about games and stuff. It's not just about what the face. It's not. Don't take what I'm saying for face value. Like I'm just talking about a specific situation. This is you apply this. I guarantee you apply this to multiple areas of your life. I'm giving you life principles here. That's what was special about this particular stream. That's what was special about this channel. That's why I wasn't very good on my own. What am I teaching myself about life? Having conversations with myself. I do that off stream. I'm not trying to be funny. I talk to myself off stream. A lot of people do it. I knew myself enough. That's why I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm glad that I got to partner with Frog. And I'm not trying to be funny. If he still continues to stream, I don't know what your plans are. I'm not asking you. If he continues to stream, I told him I would 100% be behind him, but I would literally be behind him, behind the scenes. I'm not interested in streaming anymore. I will absolutely be that faceless voice that does stupid stuff that you can laugh at. That's going to be me. We talked. We had a list of things that we could do. I would still do it. I gave my word. I meant it. I don't know how you're enjoying multiverses. I haven't heard from you, Frog, but you know, I did think about it. You know, when it came out, but I'm gonna be behind the scenes. That's why I said you may see me. Game Buggy, figured. Um, but you may see me in other people's content. You might. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this camera down and I'm gonna go back to being a viewer. And I'm gonna go back to supporting people. I'm gonna find people to support. Because again, this is probably a motto at this point. This is probably another one. Support is underrated. It only takes one person in somebody's stream. Frog is he's a living, breathing example. One person can make a difference. One person. One person can make a difference. Be that person in somebody else's stream. Be that person in your family. Be that person in your group of friends or whatever, with your brother, your sister. You're in a relationship. Be the person that makes a difference. It only takes one. So if y'all don't have anything else, I don't really have anything else. I don't know. There might be some stuff I didn't really address. That one I did. That one I did. But again, the Discord is gonna be up. Y'all can go back to the beginning of the video to listen to all the disclaimers as to what's gonna happen with YouTube. But yeah, I'm not trying to be funny, but like I'm ready to like I was I that's I'm this is gonna be like a second coming for me because I spent a lot of time in that cave we talked about earlier. I spent a lot of time being preserved, basically. And I'm ready to live life, dude. I'm not trying to be for look, I got this is my last visual aid. See this shirt? This shirt, you can't really see it, but I'm gonna do it like this. This shirt I got from going on a cruise a couple years ago with my family. It was something I'll never forget. I only brought up that shirt because if I mean, listen, if if it happens, it happens. I if it happens, it happens. I would love to meet you. But all of this, what I'm doing right now, I'm making space for my wife. I don't even have a girlfriend right now. Not in the traditional sense, but I hate it. I hate my ex from the last relationship because I didn't want to be back out here with the way that the world is. I don't enjoy being single. It's not, anyway. All it is, I'm preparing to have a girlfriend again, to be engaged again, and to be married. I'm ready to start living, bro. I'm ready to start going on cruises. I'm like I said, I'm getting back into basketball shape within like what 3 weeks. My belt, I've been able to tighten it 2 holes comfortably. I'm getting back into like basketball shape. So you say, hey man, it's been a run for sure. You did stuff that no one would do even after a month of consistency. That's Jesus, that's a fact. But you know you helped many people, including me and everyone else who came across you. Def was a part of my childhood with all the other Minecraft people I used to watch. That's funny. I am Def going to do my absolute best to continue your legacy, and I will work hard as well. Appreciate you, brother. Um, I understand what you're saying, and just you know, be you, be the best you, be the best you. My advice, and it's not just stream. My boys, my family, it's the same thing. I I give you information, and you make it your own. That's the only way it's going to stick. If you try to do it for anybody else, anybody, I'm telling you from personal experience, if you make a decision for anyone else, including your parents, when it gets tough, you don't want you don't want to have you don't want to question that. You don't want to have a bunch of like doubts and stuff like that because you'll your decision is going to get tested one way or another. And why you're really doing it will come out. Let me get back to real quick talking to my wife. Like I said, I want to go on cruises. By myself, I might even I don't know, someday soon I'm going to go to Six Flags and Safari. I'm going to go back there for like the third or fourth time. I'm going to just look at some animals. I'm ready to enjoy my life. And again, I don't know if she's going to see it or not, but for me, my prayer, because I look at the last 3 relationships. He said, "What up, future wife? I'm Frog." You'll probably be introduced to her at some point. He said, "Yes, of course, I will do me and what I enjoy. But if anyone asks me why did I start, you're gonna be the first one I mention." That's basically what I meant. I understand. I understand. I got you. I'm looking at the last 3 serious relationships that I had. Two of them we talked about today. Every single one of them was missing one thing. They said they were a Christian, but they weren't really about the life. They weren't trying to live it. They just wanted to claim it. At no point, and I've said this to every single one of them, at no point did I ever ask them to be perfect. I asked them to try to be better. Don't be comfortable. And I'm just telling y'all in reference to people you might come across. You see somebody who's comfortable making mistakes, distance yourself as soon as you can. Distance yourself as soon as you can. if she's not about the I'm just saying, it, but I don't know if because as far as I know, there's no females that really watch me according to the demographics in YouTube. But if so, if you happen to see this, if you're not about the Christian lifestyle, respectfully and disrespectfully, stay away from me. Don't say hi to me if you're not about the lifestyle. And I did. My mom, my mom told me, she was like, because like I told her, I was like, this is just me. This is an overflow now. I told my mom, I was like, I was like after what I just went through, I was like, I was like, I want to see if I can go to those singles conferences, a Christian singles conference at a church or something. And I was like, but I feel like it would be, I feel the things that's stopping me is I feel like it's predatory behavior. Like I'm going there looking for a girlfriend. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going there looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for somebody who's interested in living the lifestyle because I'm tired. Like, and I told my mom, I'm like, she's like, the first thing you say to her shouldn't be, are you trying to live for God? I'm like, at this point, I'm tired of meeting people that are claiming one thing and living another. And just to be clear, and I'm glad that we had this little moment because I want to make sure that I said this to make sure that's my chair being broke, to make sure that I get this out. While I was in this last relationship, the one I just talked about, I did something that Christians don't normally do. Meaning, I did something, I guess, quote unquote, unchristian like. It wasn't illegal, nothing like that. But I did something unchristian like. You know what I did? I realized it. I I got her into a conversation. I explained to her why I did it. I apologized to her for it, and I never did it again. That's what I mean. I cleaned it up. That's what I mean about living the lifestyle. It's not about making mistakes. It's what you do once you realize you've made a mistake. Are you comfortable with that mistake? Stay away from people if that's how you want to live your life. Don't like I'm they need to have another word because Christian is just a catch-all. Good people don't make it to heaven. Christians do. What does it mean to be a Christian? What is the definition of the word? To be a follower of Christ, meaning you're following him. You are like trying to live his life. They need another word because there's people out here misrepresenting stuff and whatever. For some reason, I'm meeting them. It's frustrating. Like I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. So that's just a little. Sorry, that's just a little PSA for any female who sees this. If you're not trying to live the lifestyle, and I'm not perfect. Not ever would I claim to be perfect. If you watch this video, I don't know why you watched this video. I don't know why you saw this, but do not waste my time. Don't waste anybody's time calling yourself a Christian and you're comfortable living the complete opposite. Look at this, Ramsey, as usual. Thank you for everything, sir. Thank you for being an amazing brother. Okay, I stopped reading it because I thought it was from your message and we did read your message. Okay, I'll start over. Thank you for everything, sir. Thank you for being an amazing brother and mentor for me and for a lot of people. You fought a long and hard fight, mostly alone, to keep the content up and going. It was an amazing journey. Loved every second. I'm honored to be a part of it, even a mild one. Thank you, sir. For real. Thank you. With the white heart and the tiger emoji. Appreciate you, Ramsey. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. Um yeah, but like I said, just watch this video. It'll be up probably by what's today, Friday. It'll probably be up by Sunday. I got to put all the links in the description. Again, pay attention to what's going on with the Discord. The Discord's not going anywhere. It's going to shape shift a little bit. But But yeah, I'm not dying. I'm not dying. Um, not dying. I'm just shifting. Not dying. um, just for those of you out there, just make sure, like I said, the title of this was develop your no. No is appropriate. Just make sure you're saying no to the right things and or people. Still keeping up the Discord? Yes. Yes. This part right here, Ramsey, is going to be on YouTube. I mentioned Discord in the very beginning. So if you want to watch the VOD before it hits Discord, before it hits YouTube, you can do that. Or you can wait for it to get to YouTube. But I basically explain that. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I'm not dying. I'm just shifting. But again, make sure you're saying no to the right people. Make sure you're saying no to the right things. Make sure you're giving your 110% or 150% or whatever it is. Whatever you do, if you're gonna do it, do it. Y'all listen, okay? Burning that in your brain, okay? Um, I do want to apologize. Um, I want to apologize to my entire community. Um, there were things that were supposed to happen. We never got any merch. Not that I was trying to get money out of you, but it would have been nice to have something at the end of this. It never happened because I didn't have the support that I thought I needed to do it. I'll be honest. I wanted to do it. I had ideas to do it. I had um ideas for emotes and badges and all of that stuff. Every time I went to do it, it was just like I apologize. It just wasn't there. You know, it really wasn't there. Um, so, um, but yeah. So, I think that's it. One thing I want to say to whoever hears this, um, I want to be careful how I say this. For those of you, I gotta, this is reminding me I have to speak to somebody at work because of something I overheard in one of their conversations. For those of you who may have professed not to believe God, or you just, you're not into all of that, you're not into all of the deep stuff, and you're not, into the Bible and all that stuff. All I want to say to you, all I want to say to you, I'm not trying to convert you. All I want to say to you is that because God sent me here, I didn't come on my own. Okay. I did not come on my own. Because God sent me here for the people that I reached. If you spend any amount of time in the presence of this community, whether it was through one of these, little interactions that we have where we're talking about life stuff, if you spend any amount of time here and got engaged into a conversation with me, you have officially experienced God. Not that I'm some type of God, but I represent what it is that God would. I represent the lifestyle. So I'm just letting you know. And this is why I said I have to say something to my coworker, because she mentioned she wasn't even talking to me. She was on the other side of the wall. She doesn't even know that I know. See, God confirmed. Okay. She mentioned that she had an interaction with another man of God, and she said he was really nasty to her. And she was saying how he kind of made her feel bad that her relationship with God wasn't like his or something like that. And that's the reason I don't profess I'm not the in your face guy. Like there's a lot of people who just found out that I'm a Christian. That I would rather not say anything. And when you walk away and you think about me, you in your mind you're like there was something different. That I'm not the in your face preach type guy. I'm the one-on-one DMs or small men's, conference thing. I don't want to be behind a pulpit preaching to people. I would rather just have a conversation with a few people at a time, and that's where I have been proven. Like I can see that's where it's been proven, not I've been proven, but it's been proven that I have the most impact. So, I was a peer counselor in high school, you know, for freshmen and stuff. So it's been there, but in terms of counseling and stuff like that. Anyway, I just wanted you to know if you see somebody claiming to be a Christian, you now have a marker in your mind to say, I met one, I experienced one. This is what it was like. Don't judge them. We are not to judge anyone at all. But the Bible says you're allowed to judge one thing. You're allowed to judge a tree by its fruit, meaning how the person is, how they interact with you, their actions towards you, what their life's like. You judge what the type of decisions that they make. That's how you can tell what the tree is made out of. Again, I apologize. There might have been a bunch of people that got offended today, but again, it was all in love. Like I've always said, yeah, I'll cut you, but I'll be right there to help you heal too. I'll be right there with the tools to heal you. So, um, I don't have anything else, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody have any last words that they want to say? Um, I don't have anything else. I've said everything. Um, he said GG. Um, that's it, bro. Like I said, I'm not dying, but I'm gonna leave y'all with a quote that God kind of gave to me. I didn't get this from anybody. I'm gonna kind of tweak it a little bit so that you can take it with you. This is this is um this is something to remember. When there is a shot at perfection, meaning something that you're trying to accomplish, something that you want to happen, like, whether it's a relationship, whether it's how to build your house, your home, um, your family, whether it's to build a friendship, a business, whatever it is that is on your heart to do, when it's something that you are passionate about, remember this one thing. When there is a shot at perfection, my ego is not allowed at the table of destiny. Say it again. When there is a shot at perfection, my ego is not allowed at the table of destiny. Don't let your emotions run you. I'm saying too much. I'm gonna let the quote stand for itself. Last time, when there is a shot at perfection, my ego is not allowed at the table of destiny. GG for real. Appreciate you, Ramsey. Why not? The first one and last to get it. It suits you, Frog. It suits you. What am I gonna do with all these points? Go support somebody. Go support somebody. Interact with them. Make their day. Make their day. Said everyone banned. Funny enough, after this is over, I'm removing all the mods just in case somebody's account gets hacked and then people are like, hey, wait a minute. He came back just to ban. No, no. That's how much I care about my reputation. That's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I better do it quick then. That's all I got, ladies and gents. I'm gonna end it like this. I have to do this. No, that out. That's done. Okay, you know what? All right, so okay, so I'm gonna do this like this. This is how I'm gonna end it. Do it like that. That's one. That's two. That's three. And then four random ones. That should be enough. There you go. Join prediction? What happened? And I missed it. Good. Nobody really. Where's the prediction? I missed it. Saw it pop up and then it's gone. Just lost all my channel points. What just happened? I don't know. Anyway, gifted subs to four random people. And I also gifted, well, you guys could see it. Frog, Ramsey, AJ, those are the people that were here. Well, that's good because I'm still mod for some people. So, all right. Well, anyway, what I'll do is I'll end the YouTube video here and kind of hang around just in case. YouTube, peoples, it's been fun. Like I said, I do want to apologize. There was supposed to be a lot more to this, but I did my best. I did what I could while I could. You know, I hope, you know, you appreciate the effort. I apologize if you were disappointed or if I let you down in any kind of way. Um, but like I said, my contact information is going to be in the description of this video. I'll probably put that in my about section too, because I mean, it's nothing really to advertise at this point. So I'll put my contact information everywhere where you would think to look. Um, yeah, YouTube, I appreciate y'all. Um, there's a bunch of series out there. Watch them while you can. Like I said, I'm not deleting any of the videos except for Outlast. That's the only one. But I will be deleting the playlist. But all of that was previously stated. I'm not going to repeat myself. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube Landia, for the last and final time, I guess I'll say for now, I guess. All the people that come in to try and sell art about to go crazy with your contacts. I mean, I got 2 people off Twitter today. It was actually pretty entertaining. One of them was like, hey, I was on just chatting. I was literally doing this. And they're like, hey, do you play anything outside of this game? And I'm like, well, you know, usually I skydive on the weekends. If I'm not bungee jumping in Paris. I said something along that lines. They were like, oh, I got you. Oh, well, I followed you on Twitter. I'll wait for your follow back. It was actually pretty entertaining. I literally I can't play it because I was playing music at the time. But if you go to the beginning of this VOD and fast forward like not even 10 minutes, like 5 minutes, they're both I can't play it because it's music, it's copyrighted. I don't want to mess this up, but that absolutely happened. And they're like, yeah, I'll wait for your follow back on Twitter. I was like, that's a good plan. It was literally at the very beginning of the stream because I did something foolish and I told Streamlabs, hey, I want to share my going live tweet. I stopped doing that like months ago. Anyway, YouTube Landia, I appreciate y'all. I didn't know what to say, Ramsey. Don't laugh at me. I didn't know what to say. It's like I'm tired. Like, really? Anyway, like I'm like to the very end. Like, really? Like I appreciate y'all on YouTube. I love y'all. It was a fun journey, learning how to edit and all of that stuff. Go watch that Walking Dead series, bro. That one was fun to edit. I'm not gonna lie to you. That one was fun to edit. I appreciate y'all. YouTube, signing off. You're gonna do it. Do it right, YouTube. Peace, y'all. I'm not dying.